What do you think makes people beautiful?
Wait, what's the question again?
What do you think makes people beautiful?
Oh,
Okay. I'm gonna say their feelings and their words. And so like the first thing that comes to mind when I think when like you ask that question is like the story of Cyrano de Bergerac and also just like Let It Shine. And that one scene in Let It Shine where he tells her, he's like, hey, like I'm the one who actually wrote all these songs. And she's like, okay, well, I didn't fall in love with Chris because of how he looked. Like I fell in love with the words that he was saying. And I feel like that's just kind of a really big thing. Like I feel like your feelings and however you're feeling and how you choose to express yourself when you're feeling a certain way is like what makes you you. And I think that's what makes you beautiful is just like how you're able to express like the inner parts of yourself, like during whatever you're feeling, how whatever situation you're in. Like I think that's what makes you beautiful is just like how they're able to stand and like express themselves and represent themselves like no matter what they're going through.
I agree with Kyra. I think it's someone who, you know, those people that are just like, it seems like they just radiate light. Like every time they walk into the room, you're like taken aback by how good their energy is. It's that person that can uplift every single person around them and just makes a lot of sense, if that makes sense. Like they don't hold grudges, they don't say mean stuff to people. They make sense in their approach to life. I think those people are beautiful. So.
I think I really think all those things make somebody extremely beautiful, but more importantly, I think confidence. Like if somebody just exudes confidence, I'm like, wow, you're stunning. And I know that's like that might be taken out of context, but just when somebody stands tall and they're not afraid and they're just themselves, they can like uplift other people that much more, I feel like. And if somebody can have that energy and like transfer it to the community around them, that's really beautiful.
I also love when people aren't afraid of being vulnerable because it's nice to be the perfect positive person all the time and like put a perfect image of yourself because we're comfortable with doing that. But I think people who are just not ashamed of showing their imperfections, and because no one's perfect and everyone has down parts about themselves, everyone has flaws, but when someone is like, okay, who cares, because everyone feels this way, if I share this with someone, then that could make someone feel more comfortable about doing the same. I feel like that's so beautiful.
Yeah, I relate because if you're putting on this front that you're perfect all the time, then people will see through that, and then you're not being authentic to yourself and other people. So then, yeah, it just hurts you in the end.
And I think now, finally, just adding on to that, people are starting to normalize imperfections a little more, which I think is really important. But I think it should be perfect to be imperfect because like you said, nobody is perfect. Literally, we can look at pictures, they're airbrushed or whatever the hell, but we can look at people, again, they can be putting up fake fronts. We never know what's going on behind the scenes. Literally, the world is like a movie set. Like you never know what a real person is like behind the scenes. You just see the actor, that perfected like finished version of everything. And I feel like with media, with technology, I'm like going into a whole different category, but with all this stuff now in the 21st century, everything is focused on like perfecting something before it's shown to people, that we never get to see the work that's being done sometimes, and we like forget that.
the younger generations, even though like we're still young, but like toddlers, they're gonna grow up and they're gonna like see so much diversity and see so much inclusion in the media, and I'm just glad that they're gonna like be like, oh, that's normal, because like that's all I've ever known. But for me, like you're experiencing the girls with like the braids, that's like something not revolutionary, but it's like,
it is revolutionary.
yeah, like we barely had that when we were growing up. It was always that one Black character, and so seeing like so much of that, I'm just so glad that it's here.
I think that's the beauty of representation, is that once it's there, no one questions it, you know? It's normalizing it. Normalizing the idea that beauty isn't gonna be one way all around.
It's crazy how people with afros are like in the media every day and in commercials every day. But like, I think the first time I saw someone with an afro on TV was like Zuri, Sky Jackson on Jessie, honestly. And then sometimes in commercials, but that's crazy. I love how much progress we've made, but it's like, dang, when I was younger, I didn't even think I was beautiful.
That is it.
Because society, they didn't want to show us, so I didn't feel like I was even worth looking at.
Isn't that crazy that like you could be going through a lot of things in your life, and the fact that you don't feel beautiful or pretty enough, like you remember that.
Yeah.
Like you remember that when you get older. Like I remember not feeling beautiful. I remember comparing myself to people on picture day and just being like, oh my God, I wish my hair could look like that. Oh my God, I wish I could wear something like that. Like all that, like, and that's in what, third, second grade? Like, as much as we say we shouldn't let like beauty influence our lives or whatever, it does. And I don't think we should shy away from it. We just gotta take like the bad things out of it.
What you guys were saying about normalizing like people who look like us in like stores and ad campaigns, again, I don't understand why it's so hard. Like obviously I don't know the business behind it and everything, but I don't understand why it took so long and why it was like so hard just for them to have like people of different races, different shapes, different sizes, different hair textures, colors, like different eye shapes, different lip size, like everything. I just don't understand. There's so many people in this world, and they really felt the need to use the same like carbon copy of that like skinny white girl over and over and over again. And it did really get to me in elementary school, but it was like a subconscious thing where I wouldn't say it out loud, but I would think to myself like, I wonder why I don't look like them, especially since half of my family like did, that one half of my family. Yeah.
I relate to this whole thing so much. I don't even know how to describe this, but I probably didn't think I was pretty until 10th grade, sophomore year probably. And that's recent. That was like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like my whole life I was like, well, it's not even necessarily probably I did think I was ugly. You know what I mean? I was just like, I'm not desired by anybody in the media, at school, in my community, so okay. And I wasn't taught to like date myself, because I know a lot of people take on that mentality now, like if no one else loves you, date yourself, but I wasn't taught that as a kid.